he does the mwah, 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 mwah thing to her. And then she says, I feel weird doing that back.
Yeah. I don't blame her. Pretty bad.
It is pretty bad. But that was so funny she said that.
Yeah.
Welcome to A Fine Podcast with your host, Amanda, and
Joseph. Yes. Welcome back, everyone.
we're here. And it's Thanksgiving week.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And enjoy it.
We are thankful for you if you're listening to us. Thank you so much. And I feel like this year for Thanksgiving, things are just so busy. And I feel like this is the first year where I'm not into cooking all day.
Yeah. It'll be a laid back, easy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so we bought some pre-made food from Whole Foods, and we are making a couple dishes, right?
Yes.
What dishes do we plan to make?
Mashed potatoes and mac and cheese and
No, that's
butternut
pre-bought.
squash.
Pre-bought.
So what, the butternut squash?
And the mashed potatoes. Well, I always want to make the mac and cheese, though. That one's special.
Yeah, that's
even
why
though
I
we
said that one.
pre-bought it. We did pre-bought it. I'm wrestling with that one.
I would just make it.
Well, last year we spent about 10 hours on our feet cutting and cooking and baking, and our feet hurt really bad, and it was a long day of doing that stuff.
Yeah. I was still fine, but yeah.
It was
takes
still
a while.
fine, but it was like our break from work, but the whole break we spent on our feet working in a different way.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is fine because usually Thanksgiving is about cooking and that's fun. We get to be together and cook. But I don't know, something about having two babies this year makes us just want to have a easier time. So we have pre-purchased the desserts as well.
Yes. Yeah, we're taking a lot of shortcuts this year, but
A lot of shortcuts. No, but it will be great. It's from a local bakery. We're getting apple crumb bars and pumpkin pie bars.
yeah, it'll be good.
It'll be just like homemade.
Yes.
We can say we made it.
I don't know about that much, but look homemade at least.
I'm thankful that we don't have to cook as much as last year for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What are you thankful for? Can't think of a thing. What are you thankful for on Thanksgiving Day?
I don't know, spend time with the family. That's nice. That's a swell time.
Good. I'm glad you said that. That's so nice. And speaking of things that we're both thankful for, we are very thankful for episodes 3 and 4 of Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Aren't you thankful that you watched those 2 episodes this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
So it was a fun time watching these 2 episodes. A lot happened. Lots of things. What did you think?
Yeah, but I don't know. These episodes do drag out very long. Especially all these pod things is very annoying.
But not a lot at the same time.
We're done with the pods, right?
I think there's some more pod stuff.
Gosh. I don't know. I guess it's like I already know what's gonna happen. Like, why are they dragging this out? Like, just get the freaking point. Like, just I already know who's gonna be together. Like, why are they acting like there's all this suspense when there's nothing there? I don't know. Anyway,
because we get to see all the details of each couple's journey, which is great that they're including so many details for us to digest.
yeah, I'll see that once they move on and actually can operate in the real world. That's going to be a lot more
Well,
telling
you're
than.
in for some shockers because you think you know what's going to happen, but they could just pull the rug out from under your feet.
Oh yeah.
You never know. Maybe that's why they're dragging it out.
Yeah, or they just had to do whatever 12 or 13 episodes and they didn't have that much content, so they had to start pulling from the backlog to fill some space.
The episodes are long, like over an hour for each episode.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't. I feel like some of it could be condensed, but I don't know. Maybe you really like hearing every little detail that every
Just me.
detail in their conversation that they have. Well, just I don't know. Just
I mean, I agree that it could be condensed a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, this is like more like the women like love the details and the conversations and
It is
like
nice
all
to
the
have
nitty gritty and how
a
that. Where
lot.
like the guys, it's like just give me the big picture. Like
It's kind of nice to
I
just
don't
have
need the
a lot to watch.
yeah.
But I will say the moments that drag the most for me, which you're not even here yet, so I can't wait to hear your opinion when we get closer. But the ending parts, I think those parts are really dragged out. The preparing for wedding day and all that stuff. Sometimes I have to admit it, I've fast forwarded through some of that stuff
Oh
just
wow.
to get to the point because it's a lot of just like all the same things and they don't have anything to talk about. And
Yeah, they
we're
could
just waiting.
probably put this show out in like 8 episodes if I had to. And put because there's like 12, right? There's like 6 in the first release and then like 6 in the after 7. It's like 12 or 13 episodes total.
Yeah, I think it's like
They could
13.
probably turn this into like 9 episodes then, I would bet you.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Like I said, maybe other people like all this stuff. It's just
I
not
normally
my
do.
cup of
It's
tea. So
you're you're bad at this from the beginning, but towards the end is where I'm like, all right, let's just see what happens like wedding day, or let's just see like the actual them walking down the aisle and showing what happens. There's just so much buildup at the very end, but the buildup is stale.
yeah,
I don't think now is that boring, but you think it's really dragging. So
yeah. I mean, we'll find out.
all right, so let's dive right into our couples here. First, we have Garrett and Taylor, and the big reveal happened between the two of them, and they both look happy here to see each other.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you think of when they met each other for the first time?
I mean, I don't know. A lot of these interactions for the first time were very painful to watch. I mean,
Do you think theirs was the most painful?
no,
Because there were some others that were.
no, they're definitely not the worst. I mean, they may have been one of the better ones. I mean, they're all not great. And I get it. I mean, it's the first time you're seeing this person. I mean, there's all this pressure, and now you're engaged with this person that you've never seen before. So,
And this is when they turn down all the music too. Like when they have those first moments together, they purposely turn off like any background music that they were adding to the scene prior. Have you noticed that? That it's like crickets chirping, like there's just dead silence going on in the background while they're seeing each other for the first time.
and that's true. Maybe that's some of it because they're always throwing the music in all the other pauses. I mean, they were definitely. I mean, they were well, not definitely, but they were one of the better ones. But it seems like there was maybe some nervousness about the physical part, but probably just first jitters and just seeing them for the first time.
They're both tall and they commented on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
You're tall. I'm tall. Oh, am I taller than you?
well, because I don't know, it's weird because it's like you have all these conversations, and then I'm sure they're saying like, "Oh, we talk so easily, we get along so easily in the pods, and everything's all great and dandy." And then it's like they see each other for the first time, and then they have like nothing to talk about. They're like totally just dumbfounded at what to even say. I mean, a lot of the guys just repeat like, "Oh, you're so gorgeous, you're so gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're beautiful," just over and over and over and over
And then
again.
they're like, "Thank you,
And
thank you,
yeah,
thank you."
it's just I don't know. It
What do
seemed
you talk about at that moment? Because all you see are these cameras and bright lights, and there's all this pressure. It's dead
well.
silent. Then what are you supposed to say to the other person?
There's
I feel
also
like,
this weird thing where they have to sit down.
oh yeah, yeah. They go,
It
let's
must
sit
be
down.
some
Let's sit
scripted
down.
thing because I don't know. All of them wanting to like sit down immediately
Well,
seems
I don't know. Some look like they really wanted to sit down.
yes, but I can't imagine every single one of them. They hug for 2 seconds and it's like, oh, we got to sit down for this. Like this is I can't stand.
Would you like to just stand up the whole time?
No, but I think some of them could last a little bit longer. I guess one of the couples did last a little bit longer than everybody else. But anyway,
We have to sit down.
I don't
Where's
know.
our bench?
I don't know, but I would think I'd still be able to keep things a little more playful or not as awkward for the first time.
Playful. What are you supposed to do? Hey, like play like a game of what?
No, but I don't know. I almost wonder too if
What
some
would
of it's
you
because they know,
do?
which also is a pain. You probably know too. You have the cameras on you, and you may not even know how long this is going to last. That your camera is going to be on you, or how long your segment's going to be aired for. So I think there's probably some nervousness even with that about how's my reaction going to be perceived and I don't know. So anyway, there's just a lot of pressure. It probably seems like, which it clearly shows in their interactions.
Taylor then tells Garrett, "My mom's name is Fong. It's like song, but with an F."
Yes, yeah, because he can finally now know her ethnicity,
Yes.
and
And she's from Hong Kong.
yeah, so I'm sure that was a nice relief of off her shoulder to be able to say that. And I don't think he even really he said much. It was just the oh.
The two of them really didn't say that much. It was like, "Ooh, you're tall, I'm tall."
That's why I almost felt a little bit of I wonder if I don't know someone's going in the back of their head like, oh man, this isn't as great as I thought it was going to be or
They didn't
something.
look like they didn't like each other though. It looked like more of like a nervousness, like I don't know what else to say at this
Yeah,
point.
and it could be that as well. I mean, I'll have to see how they actually interact on their vacation to get a
Yeah.
better idea.
Well, that's all we got of Garrett
Yeah, I don't
and
know. It
Taylor.
really wasn't that impactful. I don't remember it very clearly. So,
That's because it happened at the very beginning of
oh yes, that
episode
too.
3,
But
so it's left your mind at this point. So, but that's the only thing. They're done after the reveal, and we didn't see any more of them. So let's move into Ashley and Tyler. So Ashley got Tyler balloons and cake for his birthday in the pods, and Tyler got her flowers. And Ashley reads Tyler a note, and they're both crying. And Tyler says this is the deepest he's ever felt with anybody. And then we see the pod proposal between Ashley and Tyler. What'd you think about this one?
yeah, I mean, it was. I'm learning there's a formula to this where it's if you're sitting, please stand up.
Yeah.
And then they must all know immediately at that point it's happening, which I think is, I mean, I guess you have to do it because you can't see it,
Well,
but
the other formula thing is the flower delivery for them. That was something we noticed that everyone had in common. If you had flowers on your table when you walk in,
yeah, but there's like Taylor and Garrett got flowers, or he got her flowers multiple times.
Yeah, I
He got
guess.
a big bouquet, I think, the last time,
All
where
right,
the
so
other
then
times was like smaller.
the bouquet.
Maybe it's the bouquet that gives you the heads up.
Yes.
But yes, I mean it was there, and then he's like, "Well, are you sitting? Good, you need to be standing because I'm about to get on one knee." and then, and then voila, it happens. Um, I mean, nonetheless, I still think they're the strongest. They, they're, yeah, they're still the top contenders.
The leading couple.
Yes.
And then they have the reveal because she says yes. So we're at the reveal. And when they hug for the first time, you can hear somebody's heart beating through the microphone.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I heard that, and I thought that was a little strange, but
They're trying to highlight like how nervous people are.
yeah,
Unless they just added in that sound effect and it wasn't
that's
either
true.
one of them. So
They're trying to really allude to how awkward it is
yes.
by and no music, no nothing, and they stare at you for like 20 minutes, which is like the longest any shot is.
Yes.
This whole thing, so
And then he reproposes, which is also part of the formula
well, that is just some yeah,
because he's proposing in person now.
yeah.
And then
We've
they're
already
both
talked about
crying
the
again.
ludicrousness of that.
You don't like the reproposal?
No, I don't.
I thought you liked the in-person proposal.
It just needs to be done in person. I don't think it needs to happen in the pod.
Right.
I think there
yeah.
just needs to be something where like, uh, you're the one. I don't know, something that's similar, right? But not the actual action. Just something similar, like
But then you can't have the reveal. If they don't know for sure 1,000% you're going to propose, you're not allowed to be in the reveal.
I don't know. Say something. I will propose to you. Walking down the aisle, will you say yes?
Yeah, but what if they see the person and then they're like, ooh, that's what they don't want. They don't want you to back out.
There's no difference than you saying yes when I haven't seen the person. I heard a voice. I could say, well, I don't know. His voice doesn't match up to what I thought I heard in the pods. That this isn't the person I agreed to say yes to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I don't know. It's not like
I don't know. I feel like it's just written in stone. You have to do it.
yeah.
So next we have Alex and Tim, and we see them playing games in the pods to get to know each other better. And Tim gifts Alex a bracelet that his sister bought for his other sister, which both of his sisters have passed away. And he said that they love her even though she hasn't been given the opportunity to meet them.
These two, I mean, yes, it was very nice and very sweet, but I don't know. It's like almost every conversation, unless it's just every one that they filmed, almost every time they had a connect or their dates, it was always this very heavy, very serious thing,
Sad.
which I don't know. I'm almost wondering if there's bonding over the wrong things, more about that type of stuff versus romantically connection.
Yeah. It's a lot of talk about that stuff.
Because there's not a lot much of them just sitting there and having fun. I think the one time is they had a big serious moment and then they painted. They haven't had that much. I don't know. It doesn't feel like they've had that much time of bonding or just happy connection and joyful time.
That was the only time we saw was when they were painting the picture.
So that makes me a little nervous about how strong things are. But nonetheless, it was a very sweet gesture, and she takes it quite well as she's wearing it.
And then he proposes to her,
Yes.
and there's flowers in her room because the proposal's coming up.
Yes. Lots of flowers.
Lots of flowers. And then he says, "Will you marry me?" And she says, "Duh." What do you think of that response?
I guess everyone's kind of got their own style.
Oh, one thing really sweet that Tim did was read Alex a note that he wrote to her father asking him if he can marry his daughter, which it was a nice thought.
Yeah, that was a nice gesture to kind of shows seriousness. So I mean, yeah, I mean,
I really like that part.
I think there's genuineness to them. I'm saying more so. It's just been a lot of focusing more on the more serious moments first, having some playful moments. I don't know.
Right.
So anyway,
So let's go into their reveal. So they are about to see each other, and I think she says something like, I don't know if he likes them thick, but like that was her nervous remark.
yeah. Well, it does. This really kind of, if there's any type of insecurity about themselves, I think
They bring it up here.
if there's any crack, it's definitely going to be blown open at the reveal, because yeah, it just is. And I think for her there is, and I don't know if it's necessarily that, but
The producers must have asked her like, "Hey, what are you
yeah,
like really afraid of
they could have egged
happening?"
it on or something. Because I mean, she really hasn't ever mentioned it
Right. I
before,
don't think she's
so
insecure about herself. So
so yeah, I guess that's probably a valid point.
they're probably just getting people to say anything like, what do you think maybe he like wouldn't like about you if you had to pick just one thing?
Well, that or to even really hype up this moment, because then get people to think, oh no,
What if he doesn't like
put that
her?
on their mind, so then maybe that's gonna happen, or just build a little bit more tension into
Right.
this reveal and what there actually is. And but yeah,
It's not true too, because then when the doors open, he really likes the way she looks.
yeah. Now theirs was the worst or the most awkward out of them all, mainly because I think he really didn't know what to say, which because he kept repeating this
Oh
dog
yeah,
thing.
right. I was going to say what is that? What he was talking about? You're a dog. I'm a
I
dog.
don't
Dogs. Dogs.
know. I think there was a little bit in the first episode. I don't know. The first episode was like a century ago at this point. So I feel like there was something mentioned about that, but it wasn't. I don't remember it in great detail, but I don't know. She's like, stop, stop, stop. And then he keeps going over and over and over and over, which like really showed like he did not know what to say.
It's like
And
dogs. Dogs. Dogs.
so rather than saying nothing, he just kept
Saying the same
repeating
thing.
that,
Yeah.
which then she almost kind of looked actually seriously, slightly I don't know.
Annoyed.
Yeah, I had it by the end of it, which yeah, I mean it was like the fifth or sixth time, but yeah, I don't know. Theirs was definitely the most awkward to watch.
I thought Monica and Stevens, that was pretty awkward. Which Steven is quite a character. Like he's probably one of the most entertaining people.
Yeah, yeah, he's very outgoing.
Very animated and outgoing. So Monica and Steven says, if I marry this woman, I will be a dad. That's a quote that he says in the pods.
Oh yes, yeah, because all the guys were asking if they was thinking if he was gonna have kids eventually, and then he said, "Yeah, with her, I will. I'll definitely have them." So, yeah. So I mean, he's he's serious about that. But there's just been a couple remarks where he did that, and then the other one we talk about in the first episode was, "I've got flaws." And be like, "Oh, girl, I got a lot of flaws myself,"
Yeah,
or
he goes,
whatever he said.
flaws, I got tons of them, girl.
Yeah, he has some interesting remarks, but.
So there's some more interesting remarks. So Monica says, "Oh yeah, I think I'm a little weird," and he says, "Oh, don't worry, I like weird. I like weird a lot." And then
I don't know. This was the other thing that was slightly. Uh, I don't know. He more so like really like because she was like, "Oh, I really like the flaws in people." I was like, "I love the flaws in people."
yeah, like he takes it like a step further.
Yeah, but I don't know. There is so much focus on like weird and flaws and.
Here's another quote from him. "If I am yours, feel free to treat me like a piece of meat."
Oh yeah, this was a very.
I want to feel wanted by you.
Yeah, I didn't understand this. This was foreign to me.
I didn't understand that at all. And then they both say they love each other, and Steven cries over this. And then Steven gets down on his knee and he proposes. And the way he proposed, he said, "If you're starting to get a little tired of that last name, girl, like I
I've
want
got
you
a
to
solution
marry
for
me."
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't I mean his remarks are can be funny at times, but he's definitely got a slew of unique phrases.
Yes. So Monica says she waited 36 years to find him. She loves that he's barely black and he went to the library to get books about African culture.
Yes,
These
yeah.
are the things that come up when she lists why she wants to marry him.
Right, yes, right. As they're about to see each other.
Right. And right before the reveal, Monica says, "Steven, he's a great guy. He works up at 4 a.m. to go to work. His dad is three-fourths black." So she's talking about this again. And then they interview Steven before he meets Monica, and he says, "I half expect that blue wall is going to walk in all blue and wavy." Like he's calling like the blue wall that he looked at the whole time in the pods like a curvy woman.
Oh, is that oh, that's what I didn't even know what he meant
The
when he was
producers
saying
must
the
have asked him like, "What do you think Monica's going to look like?" And he like says, "I have no idea. I honestly expect the wall to walk in there with curves."
Now that makes sense because I did not understand this
I was
phrase
dying
at
laughing
all.
at this, and then you weren't. I was like, "Why are you not laughing? This part's really funny."
I thought it was trying to say like, man, if she's as large as the wall coming through or something, I'm still gonna love her or something. I don't know. But yeah, now that I don't know when you yeah, because they have that blue glowing wall that's in
Right.
between them.
So he said all
But
he can picture is that at this
yeah,
point.
well now that makes a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah, and he said the blue wavy curvy wall will be walking in a dress in
Yeah,
his mind.
which actually something about that wall. I actually thought I don't know why they didn't think of or build something like this, but something to where they could actually, if they like touch the wall, it would show up on the other person's side,
Yeah, that would be
and
really cool.
they could, put their hand up or something, or some effect to even almost feel a little bit more real that it's like someone on the other side versus
Right.
I don't know, just a robot you're talking to or
That could have
something.
been a really cool
But
effect.
I'm surprised they haven't done that. I don't know. When I first saw it moving around, like I was like, oh, I wonder if they would. Anyway, but
Yeah, that would be a good touch.
yeah.
So Steven says if she walks in and she's a wall, we'd have to work out what goes on in the bedroom then, which is another weird comment. Big.
Yeah. One of his more strange ones.
And then Steven says, "I hope she doesn't say ew when she sees me."
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's just so funny for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know. This almost seems like I feel like the producers probably had a lot easier of a time egging him on to
Yeah.
say some crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
this kind of feels like a total setup
Yeah.
by them.
Well, Monica says she's worried because she gets the ick pretty easily. So that's about it. And then the wall opens and he reproposes to her, and he hands her a rolled up shirt of his and says, I've been meaning to give this to you.
Yeah, it was the first one that he wore day one coming into the pods or the whole thing.
Which I guess that was nice.
Here's this shirt I've worn my back and I've never washed since then.
Yeah. I'd be like, thank you for this piece of laundry. Appreciate this. And then he says, "We're doing this, girl."
Yeah, theirs was a little. I don't know. She asked, or was it? Yeah, she asked to do a twirl or show him a
Yeah.
twirl first.
And then
Then she was like,
Steven,
"Well," then she's like, "Why don't you give me a twirl now?" And then I don't know. He did some weird
he sticks his butt out for his
twirl,
twirl.
and yes, yeah. And
And then he kisses her and he says, "Oh, you taste really good."
yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was that he's very aggressive with everything
Like,
too.
way too aggressive with the kissing, and I thought,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, Monica's gonna think, like, he's crazy," but then she was actually really into it from what it looked like.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't
Was she?
tell. I had mixed feelings about this. She kind of seemed standoffish because she really wasn't actively returning it or saying anything.
She didn't seem disgusted by it, and for someone that aggressively kissing when you first meet them, I would be like, "Can you back off? Like, this is ridiculous."
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to watch her body language, and it was mixed. I mean, some parts looked a little like this could be strange. Others looked like she was fine with it. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle of how she. I mean, I'd probably lean towards everything was okay, but it. I don't know. I was getting mixed emotions with
Hmm,
it. It wasn't black or white.
yeah. Well, I think it all ended well because in the final interviews, they seemed to like what they saw, and but another thing is they both kept whispering, "Wow, wow, wow."
Well, theirs was yeah. I mean, theirs was another just you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I can't believe we're doing this. It's crazy. It's you're gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like a lot of iterations of that, and I don't know. There's too much time put on it. It'd probably be less, but I don't know. I guess they truly want to just capture every moment of that because it doesn't even look edited in any way, really. So
Yeah.
it's just purely the multi camera angles, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess they're trying to get the full raw first meeting. Maybe because they know, obviously. I guess I mean it's the seventh season. I'm sure they've probably a lot of them have gone like this, so they know like this is the perfect cringy moment where it's bad. We don't need to edit. It's just perfect raw footage. So
Perfect weird footage.
yeah,
So, diving into Marissa and Bowden now. Bowden and Ramses, they've both discovered they're speaking to Marissa, and Marissa is both of their number ones at this point. And Bowden says she must have a thing for people who've been married before. Ha ha ha. Because him and Ramses have been married before.
yeah, that was kind of a weird comment. Yeah, they. I mean, they have their date, and it seems very great. They're getting along. They're having a bunch of good talks about things, and but it does almost feel. I mean, we know she picks Ramses, but it even did kind of feel a little
Off.
more friendship like versus romantic.
I
The
don't
way they
know.
were having their discussions, but I don't know. I feel like Marissa too is almost a little like, oh, we're the same soul, we're the same person, we're all this stuff, we're just fun, 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 and
It's
then
too crazy with
but then it
that.
was the same thing with Ramses with like, oh, we're the same person. There's just too much. We've got everything in common,
But
and
it was
then
almost like her, Ramses, and Bowden were like in a relationship together because, yeah, she was treating them both the same exact way and they were bonding on the same types of things. Like, we hate conservative people and like
yeah, yeah.
that sort of thing. I don't know. The only thing that Bowden had one up, well, I don't know, maybe this was a bad thing, was that he was in the military and he could relate to Marissa being in the military.
Yeah. I,
But that may have been a strike against him too.
I mean, I don't think that played like a deal breaker or anything in it. I mean, I think she just felt stronger with the other guy, but
Well, she said about Bowden, typically military people are more closed minded and conservative, but he isn't the typical military guy.
yeah, right. I mean, that just helped in actually riding out the connection as long as it did. It
Right.
wasn't the deal. I mean, it helped, but I don't know. To me, it did almost seem a little more playful friendship first.
Well, from the beginning, Bowden was saying like, "Oh, whoever you pick will be fine," and Ramses is such a great guy, and Even when they broke up, Marissa says, "Hey, I just have more of a romantic connection to Ramses." And Bowden says, "That's great. I'm so happy for you. I wish the best for the two of you. You both are great people. You're going to make a beautiful couple." Like, just over the top, like complimentary and over the top okay with it. And he even cheers as he leaves the room.
I mean, it was either, yeah. I mean, either he was able to greatly play it off and then be extremely upset about it when he's off camera, or there just wasn't honestly that much of a connection. I mean, that was just the closest one he had. He didn't really have a connection with any of them, and
That's what I think it
maybe
was.
he was just trying
That's
to
the closest
make
person he
that
had.
work just for the show or something. But I don't know. That's
Yeah, so definitely more friendship vibes between the two of them. So
yeah.
going over to Ramses and Marissa, a little bit about their conversations. Marissa doesn't think that the mother should be doing traditional things, and Ramses agrees with that. And she even says, "I'm about to focus on my career. Would you be a stay at home dad?" To Ramses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, yeah." And then she says, "Are you a handyman?" And he said, "I can be." Like, it didn't sound like he was really into that either.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. This was
I
a
don't know.
little.
I don't see the connection between the two of them. These are the things they talked about. Do you like Elf? No, I don't like Elf. Oh my gosh, we're soulmates because you don't like Elf.
Well, this I almost think he said on purpose because she asked this whole thing about who you like better, Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell, and she was like, there's a right and there's a wrong. He picked the wrong one, and then as soon as he realized he picked the wrong one, she's like, "You
Right.
like Elf?" I think it almost was more just instinctual to,
I have to say no.
yeah, to keep things going well. Like, oh no, I hate Elf. What are you talking about? That wasn't a good
Yeah,
movie or
because how can
something.
you like him and then not like Elf?
Yeah, like that. The way you responded to that to me almost seemed a little ingenuine to just appease her,
Maybe he
keep
was
things
lying. Yeah.
going in that. I don't know if that's the case, but it just felt like that the way how he kind of quickly responded and how it came out.
It's like
That's what
you
I
have to agree with everything Marissa's thinking or saying, or else you're out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, especially at that point, he knew he was in contention with this other guy, so
He's trying to be the
she's
winner.
trying to figure out what is the one deal breaker, right, or the one thing that's going to make her lean towards him or her, and
Right.
I mean him or the other guy, and that was to basically play it safe and I'm still an option. Pick me, pick me. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
So, all right, talk about astrology. What'd you think of this conversation?
it was strange. I've never been interested in that stuff, and
But not even just like what's your sign. It's like three things.
I don't know, something about the rising star and the rising moon or something. I don't even know.
And then Ramses is like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know about that. I know about that." And she's like, "You know about it?" And then he says, "Yeah, I'm a Cancer, Leo, Leo." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, wow."
This was because it seemed like all because of this combination of things that that was like the deal breaker. Like I think for her that was like literally what decided between the two of them, which I find very strange.
His
But
astrological sign is what made the decision.
yes, because the way she just lit up after that, just like,
Well, she ran back and told all the girls too in the room.
well, yeah, that, and that's why it almost,
And why? Why was it good?
I don't know, but
I thought she said something.
I don't know. It seemed like there was some like innuendos or something that were about that, but I don't know.
Oh, like sexual innuendos. But that's what makes that go over the top.
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, we then see Ramses left a nice note for Marissa, and that was it. And I put down that they pretty much have nothing together. I don't know. It's like a big relationship, but to me, it seems formed on nothing.
Yeah, they don't seem super They seem like they have some ideas of things that align, but it doesn't seem much of a grounded foundation.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. So on to some of the drama. So first we have Nick and Hannah. And in Hannah's pod, there's a healthy salad that she's eating.
Yeah, this I almost had because this was with Nick and Hannah, and I almost wanted to think, man, this was like a bad call by Nick because they've already had this whole conversation of him giving or focusing a lot on the appearances and things like that, and she's already come out with that, and then to I don't know, give this like healthy meal to,
It's like,
to
oh,
almost
you got
try
me a
to
healthy salad. Wow.
yeah, like I almost had to think this was a poor part on his on his end because I think it almost was just gonna really put more fears in her mind about
Right.
like, oh, he wants me to be this, you know, skinny trophy wife or something. But
Yes. So I
uh,
don't know if that was the best choice there.
yeah, I did not think so.
Nick says he wanted to be in the NFL and he always thinks about what could have been. And Hannah asks him, do you do well financially? And he says, I could do better. You don't get six figures automatically going into real estate here. It's going to be a second until I get another job, Hannah says. So,
Yeah, well, I feel like this was brought up because Hannah had the conversation with Leo like the night before or whatever, or I don't know. They make it allude to like that, and he was talking about how well off and you don't have to worry about these things. So she's almost contemplating, well, here's one guy who's well off and we won't have to worry about that, and
right.
there's this guy who we may have to worry about that with him. But
Hannah quit her job to be here, and Nick doesn't
I
say
guess he
much.
just broke
but,
into it.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, but it seems like he's fairly the way
New.
he's talking doesn't sound like he's been at least for a couple of years or anything. But yeah, so
So how are they going to make ends meet?
yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, so I think she's kind of trying to. I mean, she mentions like, oh, it's not a big deal, but I mean, it is at least. I mean, you at least need to be able to pay to live in a house. So, which, yeah, so
So Hannah goes in a little bit about her weight, and she says that her mom had to lock the cabinets when she was younger because she would try to go in all the time and get snacks.
and yeah, so she's opening up a little bit more to him about this, which probably wants to get it out there. His final chance if he kind of is focused on that to back out if he wants to.
And he says, I don't care what you look like.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's more focus on this, so they they we'll see how things work when they actually meet face to face for the first time. But
Yes. So Nick says he's in love with Hannah and he's never been in love with anybody before. And she says, oh, I'm in love with you too. I figured it out today. And Hannah has flowers, and then Nick proposes, and they have a gold champagne bottle. So they don't just stop at the gold cups and glasses.
yeah, well, I guess that's kind of become their thing at this point, and well, it's also to probably hide the wine brand. So,
Or like the amount of wine you're drinking.
well, yeah, but the cold cup has already come out to show you the to not know
Yeah,
where they
but the
are in the process.
wine, maybe you'd set the bottle down and the liquid would be up here, and then in another shot it'd be down here too.
Yeah.
I don't know. The wine isn't even in the picture after this. It was
Well,
just like
it's
the
also
one.
it's champagne, but
Oh, champagne one. Um,
if we're getting technical.
Okay, let's get real technical. So then they say, cheers to the Dorcas.
Yeah, because he kind of makes remarks about becoming a Dorca now. So
Yeah. Leo is seen talking to a fellow that did not make the cut to be in a couple of Love is Blind. And this fellow tells him that Hannah is 5'9". And they say that Hannah cut him because he's 5'8". And that's the type of person Hannah is.
It's crazy. I don't know how they have this guy in the background who he's clearly part of it, but I guess he made no connections whatsoever. So because he doesn't get any time at all. Not even. I don't think he has even had a talking head to even introduce who he is.
No.
He's just like a stranger that's lurking in the quarters and talks to people, but
doesn't get any more airtime than that.
Yeah, I find it strange she was on and not even. But I don't know. I guess because
there's plenty of people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple people, right? Yeah, but yeah, how they get absolutely nothing. But yeah.
So Leo doesn't really care about this advice, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, with Leo, Hannah was, I think, something new for him, something that he hasn't dated previously, and Brittany has. So I do kind of commend him for trying to go outside his normal radius. And
I don't know what his normal radius is.
I'd say people like Brittany.
So Leo says having a prenup is very important to him. And Hannah says, oh, I completely understand.
And I mean, she takes it well. I mean, it's not like she's really offended by it. So that was...
Or she's just acting she's not offended by it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she may not even totally understand what's even involved with it. But
no, I think she probably doesn't care. But then she opens up to Leo as well and starts talking about her insecurities, her weight. She lost 45 pounds last year. And then Leo says, well, if you gained 100 pounds, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, but what was interesting from the editing standpoint is she says that and they flip right back to Leo and you see his eyes kind of light up, which is kind of interesting. But
well, then he also says, if you walked out and you were 500 pounds, I wouldn't care. He takes it up another level.
Which then I think she kind of thought he was being a little dramatic, but
yeah. So at this point, he asks her if he got down on one knee, would she say yes? And she says, well, yeah, but I do have another connection. And then this is where we see the first signature Leo thing happen. When he goes to leave the room, he goes, mwah, 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 mwah.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing is very strange. I don't know where he...
Did you like it?
Where he got... No.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Yeah. That's a little weird.
Wait, do your impression of him.
It's like... It's almost like he's mimicking eating food or something. He's like, this is really good. Nom, 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 nom. I don't know. It's strange.
Leo says, I'm going in there and I'm going to figure things out with Hannah. But then Hannah beats him to the punch of figuring things out and says, I figured it all out. I love Nick. He loves me. And she knew that Leo had a connection with somebody else. But then this makes Leo really mad. And I think he's really mad because he wanted to be the person to make the decision to cut things off or move it forward.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He definitely needed to pretty much already have a decision made by then. I think this has been way too long. But yeah, I mean, he does really kind of get quite heated about the whole thing. And
have you made up your mind, Hannah? Have you really made up your mind? He's throwing himself on the floor.
Because he wants to... I get the process, but he is kind of taking it slow. And other people can move on and connect with other people. And I mean, you have to be slow, but you have to be quick as well with it, which he's not being fast. And by her kind of moving on, he is quite agitated by that. So yeah, I think you're right. I think he wanted to be the one to stay in control of who he picked, but she kind of moved on. So
Right. And I think you're right. He was moving way slow, and it still sounds like he hasn't fully decided about everything. But he still says things like, "What would you say if I asked you to marry me right now?" And "I want you to be my wife." And then he says, "Is it too late?" Which at this point, come on, this is ridiculous that you're even saying this when she just told you she moved on. And then Hannah starts crying and she's like, "I'm so confused now." So I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, she really kind of breaks down here, and he really kind of gets heated. So I guess it is maybe opening up a little bit too from Hannah to at least kind of see maybe this is how he'll act in arguments or anything like that. So I think it
Yeah,
does kind of
he'll throw himself
seal
on the
the
floor.
deal with her. Yeah.
And Leo starts breathing into the pillow. And Hannah says that, "Well, Nick loves me." And then he says, "Well, I love you too, Hannah. I love you both." Talking about Brittany too. And Hannah says, "I just don't know. I have to sleep on it." And that's the end of their interaction there.
I don't know. Maybe he really wasn't thinking rationally. Because I mean, at this point, you can kind of tell it's not going to be Hannah, and it's going to be Brittany. And if Brittany ever kind of watched this again and saw everything he said to Hannah, I'd almost kind of really feel like a second choice or something at that
Yeah, I
point.
would feel terrible. I don't even know why she's still entertaining him at this point.
And maybe that's some of it too, because he knows now he's kind of in this pickle where since she made the decision to move on, he can't really go back to Brittany and say, "Well, I chose you." It really does look
Well, I
more
think
of,
he tries to do that here
well, yes,
because,
because they have the next meeting, and he says, "Oh, well, we mutually broke up. It
yeah,
wasn't a one
with
sided
Hannah,
thing,
the
right?"
next meeting, right?
Because he,
Because they meet again and Leo apologizes for how he acted the night before. Hannah says she forgives him. They say they're not compatible. They end things. And he goes, "Yes, you and Nick are meant to be together, just like me and Brittany are meant to be together." And then Leo begs Hannah to tell Brittany, "Can you just tell her I care for her? I'm just scared that she will think that I'm just choosing her as a second option. And, we did both break up mutually together here." Mutually, to be clear on that. And that's not even what happened, too. So I thought he's just trying to make it look like that.
yeah, because he know word will get back to Brittany, and then he can't really say, "Oh, I chose you." It's more him playing damage control to mitigate how to make this look like I'm not just picking you as a second choice now, since Hannah moved on. So
Right.
it's, let me try to at least show that we both decided we like our other people better or something. So
Total lie. But I
yeah.
don't know. I don't like the way that Brittany was treated in all of this, but
But I mean, and I think that may be why he's getting heated too with this whole Hannah thing, because he knows at this point getting Brittany or to choose him now or accept it, to pick him is going to be a lot tougher now, because he's going to have to play this game of, well, how am I not your second choice at this point, or just
right.
because Hannah's gone now. So
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to win her back at this point. So,
yeah,
so let's talk about Leo and Brittany. In their first meetings together, Leo says he's still undecided. And Brittany's really mad at him. And he says, "Well, I'm just split. I'm split between my feelings." And Brittany says, "Well, didn't you know that I could leave too? This is not all your decision." Which I think also just plays into the factor that Leo is trying to make this all about him, always. So Brittany says, "I could leave. It's not all your decision." And he says, "That was very well said, Brittany. That was very well said." Which I didn't understand these comments after everything. Like, everything she would say, he was like, wow, what a wise point you're making here.
Yeah, I don't know. This agreeing to things is.
And she's like, oh,
uh,
stop. And he goes, I'm not trying to compliment you to try to make you feel better.
yeah, I mean, I almost. It's almost kind of a. He's trying to kind of almost smooth talk here, I think, but
Brittany says, well, why don't you just sleep on things and think about it? And he goes, wow, so wise. I will do that.
yeah,
And then he
yeah,
goes, mwah, 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 mwah,
yeah.
for the first time. And Brittany doesn't say anything back. Or I think, does she at first do it back?
Maybe she might have did like a quick one or two or something.
She's like, oh, bye.
Yeah.
So then they meet again, and Brittany walks into her room, and Leo says, I sprayed your room 40 times with my cologne for you. She's like, oh, I love it.
Or yeah, the blanket or what was it, a blanket? I think.
A blanket, but he said he went and sprayed the room too.
Oh, I thought he just said the blanket.
No,
Oh.
40 times the room.
Yeah,
Did he run out of his cologne bottle? At
that's
the end of it?
pretty potent.
Yeah. Do you think it smelled enough like him?
Yeah, I'd probably want to wait another 3 hours and then maybe go in there.
Yeah. What if you were like sensitive to big smells or something, and then you walk into someone who sprayed something 40 times?
Yeah.
Would you have to?
I mean, I don't
would
even
you
think.
almost cough? Like, would you start coughing when you walk in?
Probably yes. I mean, I don't know how much time dissipated between when he did it and when she walked in.
Yeah,
I mean, even
that's true.
maybe they were like, "Whoa, this is way too much."
That's
I mean,
a
maybe
lot.
the producers were in there coughing, and they're like, "We gotta wait some time." 'Cause
Yeah.
This is,
She's gonna die when she
Yeah.
walks in here.
yeah.
So Leo starts the conversation saying, what kind of ring do you want at the end of this? And she says, I don't feel comfortable answering since you're asking two different women this question. And he says, well, I'm at the proposal level with two women here, which is wacky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was almost because he was just trying to keep her engaged and willing to want to continue pursuing things with him. So he was thinking, oh well, let's talk about something fun that you like picking out a ring and.
But he said, I'm asking both of you this. And she goes, well, I don't really feel comfortable answering this if you're asking two people this.
Yeah, but I think it was more of like, let's get you actually talking about it and envisioning it and putting it in your head, and then you'll be more open to this or realizing
But he is asking
maybe
two
how
people.
I'm serious about it. Yeah, I don't know.
He shouldn't have said that part. And
Well, yes, but I mean, he's to the point where he's just blunt honest, which I mean is probably good, but
I mean, it's good, but what he's doing is not good. I think he needs to, at that point, he should have cut the other person or started to realize who he's
yeah.
dating. I don't know. And he goes, well, I don't even need you to say anything. I think I know you well enough to know what kind of ring you like. And then she's like, starts getting into it when he starts like guessing, like, do you want oval or yeah. See, I know you so well. And he's like, I think you'd like a thinner band for someone small, like I'm picturing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she gets a little bit into it, but
Yeah, he's like, I think you like simple, a big rock.
it was, I don't know. I almost think this was like a little bit of a manipulation.
Yeah,
but
because she wanted to leave before that. She goes,
yeah,
I want to leave. He's like, no, let's talk about like all the details of this and how I know you so well. I know you just so well.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it was.
Yeah. So then after that, he does the mwah, 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 mwah thing to her. And then she says, I feel weird doing that back.
Yeah, which I don't blame her. It's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad, but that was so funny she said that.
Yeah.
Brittany's very mad that he can't make a decision. And I also like that Hannah and Brittany were honest with each other with what was going on behind the scenes, since they both knew that they were dating the same person too. So their little side conversations they would have on it.
Yeah,
They never
yeah,
got out of control or crazy, but Hannah was like, "Hey, he did this crazy thing to me where he just started, basically begging for me to change my mind and stuff." And Brittany's like, "Noted. Thank you for telling me that."
yeah. I mean, having a little girl talk here. So
Yeah. And then in their last meeting together that we see, Brittany tells Leo that she has a note to read to him. And the note is really sad and mad that he can't decide between her and another person.
yeah, I mean, she just kind of need to get her raw feelings out and let him know what she's thinking and what's kind of going on in her head. And
Yeah, because she feels like second choice, and that is not a good feeling to have.
yeah, yeah. So it's what he's got to reap at this point. So
Yeah. And then in response, Leo says, "I love you."
yeah, it works every time.
And that's it.
So their story. Yes, we have not seen the reveal.
Or a
I,
proposal yet.
yeah, so I guess at this point they're literally the only ones that have not had a proposal at this point.
Marissa and
So
Ramses.
I thought did they not? Oh, okay. All right. So I guess there are two of them.
Yeah. We're waiting on two proposals or two reveals
Okay.
proposals.
So yeah, I guess that's what we have to look forward to in the next episode.
Those are all of our couples.
I mean, yeah, I think both of them will get chosen, but
You think even after Brittany reading that disastrous note?
I mean, I think he'll be able to work his way out of it. I mean, he'll be able to dig out the hole or be able to do something that will persuade her to make him have a chance.
Maybe more kissing noises.
Yeah, that's a good good
Mwah,
persuasion
mwah, mwah, mwah,
method.
mwah, mwah, mwah.
I mean, I think there'll be something there to at least to continue them in the short term, but
Okay, yeah.
because I mean, I do think it's at the end of the day they're both kind of each other's type, and no matter what, they're drawn to that. So
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens.
yes,
So
we'll find out in the next set of episodes.
that's right. So what did you think of these two episodes as a whole?
I mean, I'm definitely ready to be out of the pods, but it's a lot of wall talking for this many episodes, especially for like, I mean, yeah, it literally is over 4 hours of wall talking. Yes. Yeah, I mean, at least hooray! At least we've got a bunch of the couples finally chosen. So
It's true.
it'd be great to see them all done and get to more in-person interactions. To actually really see
Yeah.
how things are gonna go.
Yeah.
There's
that'll
still
be
not
fun.
much to go off of yet. So
Who was your favorite reveal that we have seen so far?
I mean, Steven and Monica were probably just the most entertaining
Yeah,
out
that was
of
definitely the most entertaining.
out of everyone. All
That's
of them
my
were
favorite.
pretty bad, but I mean, like I don't know, it was like those felt. I could just feel like I could cut a rock as far as the tension goes. Not even butter, but a rock at that point. Like it was so bad, but yeah, at least theirs had a little bit of I don't know.
Entertainment.
Yeah,
That was my favorite.
which I guess is just partly because of him and his wackiness. But
Steven's such a great character.
yeah,
You could treat me like a piece of meat, girl.
yeah,
I want you to pay attention to me.
yeah.
All right. Well, we look forward to episodes 5 and 6 and seeing people out of the pods.
Yes, please get us out of here and
Get
into
them
a
out.
more exciting setting. We desperately need a new setting. Man, I don't know how they do these pods. This is insane.
Maybe they just pick people because they're tired of it. They're like, I want this to end. Let me just go ahead and pick.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I guess, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many days it goes over. It is. It is. I mean, obviously, you should have just be like. I mean, these people are pretty much within like a week's time deciding who they're going to marry, but
So would you propose in a week to
No.
somebody?
No.
So you would never partake in this experience
No.
if I weren't in the picture.
No.
Wow.
I could see it as a way to maybe start dating someone and then go about normal and then proceed as normal. Just have a way to start that before you, but they have to be proposing at the end of it. No,
Wow. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's crazy.
Oh, because I messed up. I was supposed to calculate the
Oh,
percentages of
yeah.
how many worked
The
out of all the
successful
seasons.
percentages.
Yes, I will have to do
Maybe
that in the
maybe
next
you'll have it
episode.
next time. Maybe you will. And I was supposed to get you the data too, so
If
I
it
didn't do that either.
if it comes to my memory, I will.
Let's just every single episode we'll say, "Ooh, wow, we have something to do.
Yeah.
We have some homework."
Anyway, I know it's a small percentage, but yes. Anyway, no.
Thanks so much for joining us for episodes 3 and 4 of Love is Blind, season 7.
Yes, we are talking about Love is Blind, and we will be talking about Love is Blind next week. Episodes 5 and 6.
Episodes 5 and 6. We can't wait to talk about it next week.
Yes, please get me out of the pods. Let's find something more exciting.
We are excited for next week. We'll see you then.
Yes, please. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Mwah, 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 mwah.